Thank you all for watching this video. As promised, here is part 3. I hope you enjoy it a lot. Please subscribe and like it. Oikawa always had a bad habit of losing himself within himself, withdrawing both emotionally and physically when things around him got too much. The first time, however, that Oikawa came to irritate Iwaizumi with one of his disappearances was when they were both in their senior year at Kitagawa Daichi. Iwaizumi had stopped by early to pick him up at his house, so they could go to school together, but when he knocked on the door, Oikawa's mother came out and in surprise said to him, "Toru already left for school, I thought he had gone with you. Surely that fool just went ahead of me to piss me off." Iwaizumi made a bow and said goodbye. He walked to school feeling strange. It's not very common to walk down the street with so much peace, without Oikawa pulling him by the sleeve or commenting nonsense about trashy movies. He took out the phone he had at the time from his sweatshirt pocket and called him. Oikawa didn't answer the 28 calls he made, and Iwaizumi began to get impatient. It got worse when he got to school and Oikawa wasn't in the classroom. Iwaizumi walked to the gymnasium and he wasn't there either. "Have you seen Oikawa?" asked Iwaizumi to two first years who were picking up some balls. "We haven't seen Oikawa-san. Did something happen?" was the answer of a small Kijiyama Tobio. Iwaizumi patted him on the shoulder. "Nothing has happened. That runt will deal with me when I find him." Iwaizumi assured him with a mischievous look and a mischievous smile. "By the way, what are you guys doing here so early? Classes will be starting soon." He started before leaving the gym. Tobio shrugged his shoulders. "I wanted to practice a little." The other boy pouted. "He forced me to come," replied Kandaichi grumpily. Iwaizumi just nodded. "Don't overwork yourselves, you hear me? Nothing good comes out of destroying your health." And with that, he left. The day went by and Oikawa showed no signs of life. However, Iwaizumi refrained from alerting his family, because Oikawa had sent him a single measly text message that read, "I'm fine. I'll see you later. Don't frown too much. You'll get old throwing kisses." Classes and practice went normally, but Iwaizumi had a hard time concentrating. He spent the whole time in the classroom looking out the window and when he went to practice, looking out the gym door by reflex, hoping to see a fluffy soft brown hair. All the tension that had built up in his body came to a whole new level when, at the end of practice, just when no one was there and he was finishing locking everything up, he saw him. Oikawa was waiting for him outside. It was already dark and from a distance Iwaizumi could not decipher the expression on his face. He was wearing the school uniform and was carrying in his two hands bags full of food and drinks which Iwaizumi guesses from the brand name, are hamburgers and milkshakes. It was a cathartic thrill. Iwaizumi dropped the keys from his hands and ran towards Oikawa. "Iwa-chan." Oikawa crooned. "What? You missed me." He didn't finish what he was about to say when Iwaizumi smacked him on the head. "But what?" Not satisfied with that, Iwaizumi jumped on top of him and knocked him down. "You piece of shit." Iwaizumi yells at him, as he is sent on top of him, grabbing him by the lapels. He doesn't think Oikawa is a piece of shit, but he couldn't help himself. He was sick, worried and mad. Oikawa was surprised at first, but when Iwaizumi remained silent for a few seconds trying to compose himself, Oikawa smiled. It was a strange smile, a kind one. Iwaizumi for his part was out of control. He didn't think it would have affected him that much. Normally Oikawa was a pain in the ass, but it was just when he stopped being one that Iwaizumi felt really worried. Oikawa had always been a fool, but he'd never shut Iwaizumi out. He'd always been open with him, never missed a whole day without including him. "Where were you?" Iwaizumi whispered. It was there, on that floor outside the gym, all sweaty, pissed off and worried, watching Oikawa from where he stood, smiling in that weird way, that Iwaizumi knew he was lost. So this is what they call love, he thought, shocked by his own discovery. Of course he was a fool too. It was years later that they finally started dating. Iwaizumi drives down the street near his house and stops at a more or less distant corner, which is partially hidden behind a tree. Oikawa is still asleep in the passenger seat. Since that day in Kitagawa Daichi, there is one thing that Iwaizumi did have clear. As long as it is in his hands, he will make Oikawa happy. It's a selfish purpose actually. It's not that he does it for Oikawa, of course not. He does it because only when Oikawa is happy, he can feel happy too. Before getting off the car, he reaches out a hand and caresses Oikawa's cheek. It's warm and soft. It's alive. Oikawa, like a cat, unconsciously settles in to receive the affection. Iwaizumi laughs inwardly. This runt. Oikawa doesn't open his eyes, and he is not entirely awake, but he says with a soft voice, I like when you do that. Iwaizumi kiss him on the cheek. Just sleep and wait for me. Oikawa does as Iwaizumi told him. Here's the thing. Iwaizumi would prefer not to have to go home, but he's going to have to because if he wants to spend the night with Oikawa, he needs the money he has saved up. The mission, Iwaizumi calculates, is to sneak into his own room. By this time his parents should be asleep. Damn, he whispers between his teeth as he tries to climb the tree near the window of his room. The branch it's not that long, so he's going to have to jump to the window. He decides to go undercover because if he goes in the house and his mother sees him, since it's so late, she won't allow him to go out again. He jumps as far as he needs to and is thankful with the life itself that he has strong arms. While in his room, he goes straight to the closet, takes out a backpack and fills it with clean clothes. Oikawa will have to wear his clothes. The idea of Oikawa wearing his clothes gives him a twinge in his lower belly. He shuns the idea and tries to concentrate. He finally takes the Godzilla-shaped piggy bank and puts it in his backpack as well. He goes to the window and stretches to reach the tree. He is about to reach it when his phone vibrates in his pocket. The sudden phone call causes Iwaizumi to lose his balance and fall out of the tree. Immediately the window of his parents' room lights up. Fuck. His right leg hurts but he ignores the pain and runs out to the car. He has made the mistake of leaving his bedroom window open. When Iwaizumi gets into the car, he realizes that Oikawa is not only full awake, but that he was the one calling him on the phone. Where were you? Is the first thing Oikawa asks. Why are we close to your house? Should I get out of the car? I have to walk to my house. What's with the backpack? Iwaizumi starts the car. You just. Iwaizumi pauses. Shut up. Okay. Have faith or whatever. What the heck, Iwa-chan? Where are we going? Iwaizumi exhales. They are already far away from their homes and he can park the car. He does so to try to calm his fast heartbeat. Iwaizumi turns to Oikawa. Look. Iwaizumi begins. I'm going to take you somewhere. His cheeks burn. Already this situation is embarrassing enough for me to talk about it. Can you just live in the moment without asking? Oikawa opens his eyes in surprise. Okay. I guess. Right. Iwaizumi says, dying of grief inside. However, he approaches Oikawa, and starts kissing him. First it's a light touch, but then it becomes aggressive. He takes possession of his lips and thrusts his tongue into his mouth. Oikawa seems to want to resist, but then melts into the kiss. The kiss becomes deep and fiery. Iwaizumi feels that if there is anything like heaven on earth, this must be it. Or maybe hell, because this pleasure is also torture. To love someone so much could not be possible. When they part, Oikawa is short of breath, flushed cheeks and glassy eyes. There is a trickle of saliva running from his lips. Why do you always do that? Retorts Oikawa, between breaths. Why do you always kiss me when I'm not ready? Oikawa looks like he wants to complain, but the pout looks tender when he's all flushed. Iwaizumi smiles, happy, satisfied. Get ready, pretty boy, tonight I'll take you to hell. Oikawa smiles back. Both complicit in what they are about to do. This part 3 has a very open ending free to interpretation. If you like the story, write me in the comments. If you want me to continue this story, let me know. I have a sketch of part 4 but I don't know whether to publish it or leave this story with only 3 parts. Really thank you all. See you later in another video.